So when you're looking to make a change in your life, whether that's confidence, whether that's success, happiness, relationships, whatever, you need to take some action in order to change things. But people put off taking action, and in order to be able to take action, we've got to understand why we are not taking action. We've got to understand what's really stopping us. Sometimes we think we know what's stopping us, but we've got to understand what is really stopping us deep down. And that's what I'm going to share with you in this video, so stay tuned. Hi, Mark Rhodes here, and welcome back to Massively Improve, the channel that makes personal development and change easy to do. So when we're looking to change something, we want different results in our life, whether that's success, confidence, happiness, relationships, whatever it is, we want better results. It means to get better results or different results, we've got to take different actions, because what we're currently doing is getting us the results we're getting. We've all heard that stuff before. If you keep doing the same thing, you keep getting the same results. So when you know that you need to change what you're doing, you first got to understand why you are resisting change. Why is it you're not doing the things you need to be doing? If it's a certain phone call you've got to make or a certain action you've got to take and you're hesitating and you're holding back, or you've got to have a particular conversation with somebody and you're holding back from doing that, you're not going to get the result because you're not taking the action. And what you need to understand is why you are not taking the action. Because when we understand something, then we can start to get clarity, and then we can start to rationalize it and understand it better. So there are three main reasons or wants, that we call them, that cause us to stop taking action. And in a particular situation, it may be one of these things stopping you, two of these, or all three. But generally, even if there's more than one, there'll be one that's the dominant one, the biggest reason that's stopping you. So what are these? Well, when we're holding back from taking action and not doing things, hesitating, putting things off, or we're getting annoyed and frustrated about something or really emotional about something, it's either because we're wanting approval, or it's because we're wanting control, or we're wanting security. It's those things mixed together. And in some situations, all three can come together. So I'm going to give you two quick examples. One is a business example. I was working with a client, their small business, one-person business, their small business was in a very bad situation. So they were not making enough sales or enough income to sustain themselves. And obviously that made them very upset, very emotional, and they wanted more, they needed more sales. But in order to get more sales, they had to start doing things like asking people for business. They had to start phoning people. They had to start going and seeing people and asking for business, and going to networking events and asking for business. And they kept putting it off. They didn't feel comfortable doing it. They didn't want to do it. And when we looked into it and we said, hey, well, which of these three is it? You know, that you're feeling so bad, which of these three is it? And what was actually making them feel bad about their financial situation was the security thing. Obviously, they felt insecure. They didn't feel secure financially. So that was driving why they felt bad. But in order to change it, they knew on a rational level that they needed to talk to new people. They needed to make calls. They needed to have meetings. They needed to go to networking. They knew they had to do these things, but they were holding back from doing those things because they thought it was about getting approval. Other people wouldn't approve if they were trying to sell to them. Other people wouldn't approve if they were... So it was this need for approval from others that was holding them back. Once they understood that, and then they could look at that and go, well, why? Why do I think I need approval? Everyone's selling stuff all the time. You know, people are selling to me all the time, they were thinking to themselves at that point. Once they'd sort of like pinned it down and said, hey, the big thing, it's all about approval. But because they were held back because of this wanting approval and worried about people not approving of their actions, it meant that it, you know, made the other situation worse, the financial situation, which was affecting the security element of the other want, but also because they wouldn't take the action that they knew could lead to overall improvement, they felt like they didn't have control of the situation. So in this scenario, we had control going on, you know, wanting control, wanting approval, and wanting security, all three of them. And that's the reason the person felt so down and so bad. But when we looked at, that's how they felt about the whole situation. But when we looked at what actions you need to take, it all came back to approval. But once they could rationalise it, they could change it. I'm going to give you another quick example, completely different example. I actually feel a bit embarrassed sharing this because this is such a small problem. But you know how even the smallest things in life can cause us big emotional things? I'm going to share something from my own life, and I do apologise. And the reason I apologise is because people have got far bigger problems in the world than what I'm going to share with you now. But it doesn't, you know, when we're in something, we're in it. I had this thing where I just realised that my TV supply company were charging me far more than what new customers were getting. And when I looked online, I found that even existing customers were getting a much better deal, and that I've been paying a huge amount more than I needed to pay. And when I looked into it and I contacted them, it turned out that they could reduce my price by about 75%, but I'd have to sign up to a 12-month agreement. And I'm like, well, I don't want to sign up to a 12-month agreement. And I read online that other people have held out and then they've taken that away and they've just let you go on a 1-month agreement. But my argument is Amazon Video, month to month, Netflix, month to month. Why are you telling me I've got to have a 12-month agreement when I'm not even getting any new equipment from you or anything? It's just a service you're already providing for me. But they're like, no, got to be a 12-month agreement. Now, this is not a big sum of money, but that doesn't matter. Emotionally, I was in turmoil. I was just like, days and days, and it went into a week and two. They'd send me another offer because they don't want me to cancel, because I said I was cancelling, and I'm getting more and more frustrated. And then I said, right, I'm cancelling, and then they sent me another offer and another offer. But all of these offers have still got this 12-month thing in it, and I'm like, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that. I'm starting to drive my wife mad with my obsession over this. And in the end, I said to myself, hey Mark, you've got to stop this. You've got to stop this, because it was churning around inside. I was like, oh, I've got to sort this out. And I know I'm sorry, because it's such a minor thing, you know, most of the world's got far bigger problems than this. But it was just such a turmoil on me. But when I sat down, I said, hey, what is this all about? Which of these wants? Is it about security? Is it about approval? Is it about control? Boom, it was about control. I felt they were forcing me into a 12-month agreement, and I didn't want a 12-month agreement. And then until I got them to change their mind and go to a 1-month agreement, then I would have control. And until that happened, I wasn't going to feel better. I wasn't going to feel better about this. But soon as I labelled it and said, this is about control, Mark, this is about control, it all fell away. Rational thought came in. Started saying to her, but I have got control. It's up to me whether I take a 12-month contract or just cancel with them. And in that moment, it all dropped away. I mean, that's a completely different example, but it's a worthwhile example because, you know, in our lives, we've got big problems going on. A lot of people have got big problems going on in their lives they need to deal with, and maybe this will help you. But we've also got smaller things, you know, like this stuff, smaller niggles and frustrations that are all contaminating how we feel. And if you're going to start using some of this approach and ideas, start with the small stuff, get the confidence that it works, and then build up to the bigger stuff. So remember, if you're held back from taking action on stuff's frustrating you, annoying you, upsetting you, you've got to remember it comes back to, in the main, 3 main wants. You're either wanting approval, security, or control. And when you figure that out as to what one it is, you pin it down. In a lot of cases, you can think more rationally about it and get yourself back out of that. So I hope you found this useful. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, like. If you're not currently subscribed, please hit the subscribe button below. And if on your device there's a bell notification, hit that as well, and YouTube will let you know every time I release a new video. I release a new video every Sunday to help you to massively improve. Have a fantastic week.